How does
What's
someone
that?
find a gym girlfriend or a
Let's talk
gym
about that.
boyfriend? Yeah, we haven't even talked about that.
Yeah, with approaching someone at the gym, I think I think with approaching women, I think where it can vary is like really, who's there, who's really wants to work out, who's really who's open to socializing just in general. I think just like with anywhere else, if someone's got headphones, head down, and like they're not stopping, like maybe they're very focused on what they're doing. So obviously looking at like those kind of breaking points, like do they stop to get water? Do they stop to check their phone? Like those types of things where they're a bit more in a approachable position.
Are they the kind of person who's chatting up with like other people
Yeah.
at the gym and stuff like that?
And I would say if you see them striking up conversations with other people, I would say it's that's fair game. I think beyond that, like, check like checking for rings and stuff. Obviously, like if they've, have a sign of a significant other,
Yes.
that's a thing people run into with like approaching people in public. I think like, yeah, definitely if you're, younger and you kind of don't realize that yet, like, don't just knowing that, keeping that in mind. If it's someone, maybe you want to wait an extra couple of days and just kind of get this person's vibe, like you've seen them at the gym a few times
Yep.
versus like, oh, that's my first time seeing them and they're attractive, like, maybe coming back to the gym at the same time and, maybe waiting a few times to before approaching, like if that just makes you feel comfortable. I also think as a whole, like approaching someone anyway is going to be uncomfortable. So just make sure you feel comfortable because, you want to be confident when you're approaching.
Yep.
So if it's kind of like, maybe I want to like get the feel for this person before I do it, like, maybe you give it a week of seeing them at the gym, you realize like, oh, doesn't seem like they have a significant other. They have a pretty calm vibe. They seem social here and enjoying coming here. Like, why not approach? I think a good time to do it just as a whole, like just giving yourself like that space, like should it not work out, I think first off, like shooting your shot is awesome. It's just if you like just taking any sort of rejection with stride, and
Absolutely.
not getting upset. I think a good time to do it is like on the way out the door or like, on your way to the locker room, so you can, collect your own emotions or feelings, like should things not work out, like, don't necessarily do it right when you get there and you're both there
Yeah.
and you have to go work out for the
You've
rest of the
still got an
time.
hour and a half where you're just going to be 5 feet from that person, just awkward as fuck.
Exactly. And I think most people, like if they're approached by someone and they're either not interested or they're just not in a place to date you, like for all like they're in a relationship or something, like most people are like respectful and polite. Like I think there's this kind of perception that a rejection means like they're gonna look you up and down and go, oh no. Like I think most women are polite. They're still flattered either way. Like even if they're not
Absolutely.
interested, they'll still be polite about it. Um, yeah, and I truly think like any sort of like very intense reaction would be like out of the norm, and like that would be a woman who's kind
Extremely.
of an asshole. Yeah.
Yeah. The approach thing is such a big deal too, because as much as like not to make this a political thing, but as political as it has become to like never talk to another person, like, in public for whatever reason, it's like, hey, don't go with a cold approach, don't do this, don't do that. There, that is, I don't want to say it's appreciated by people, but it shows a level of confidence that is extremely rare nowadays. It shows that you believe in yourself. You understand, that you are, I don't want to say like a high value person, but it's like you believe that you are someone who's like worth talking to, and confidence matters. Confidence matters so much.
Oh,
And and
100%.
like I've had oh my god, dude. I remember this one time. I was sitting in Starbucks with a friend of mine, just like getting work, and this girl walks up. I still remember her name. This girl walks up to me and puts her number in front of me and says, "Call me later." And I was just like, "What?" And like we ended up going on a date. It was cool. We didn't vibe, but I mean, God, dude, like even though this girl wasn't necessarily what I was looking for, like I felt great about that. It was super
And that's
cool.
so
And people
cool.
might say, "Well, you're a guy, it's different." But like again, almost no, as long as you're not a fucking weirdo about this, almost anybody's going to appreciate that. They're going to feel good. They're going to feel, seen or recognized in some way that feels good. And you just have to be prepared for the fact that the cold approach might not pan out, and that's okay. That doesn't
But
mean
if it
anything about you.
does,
It's just
like,
not always there.
yeah, and what's cool about the approach that she did is, she's probably doing it on her way out the door. She gives you her number and then walks away. Like it's not like she has your number too and is looking down at her phone to see like, is he going to text me back? Like
Yep.
I would also say too, like a lot of times, like if you're a guy that's about to go shoot your shot, do it right before you go out to like hang out with your friends or do
Yep.
something fun. So like you forget about it in the back of your mind. Like I've told people like you're going to go DM someone on Instagram, like swipe or delete the message from your Instagram. Don't unsend it, but like delete it, forget it's there. And then when she responds, it's like a little Christmas present.
Dude, that is brilliant.
Yeah.
That's like so smart. Yeah. Because it's like, then you don't end up just like staring at it. Did she see it? Did she this? Did she that? Did she blah, 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 blah. So that's actually another thing then, is the Instagram approach. It's obviously not quite as confident, but maybe for whatever reason you just don't feel comfortable like sliding into, or excuse me, going to like say hey in real life, which by the way I really do want to stress does set you apart. But if someone's going for the Instagram approach, like it's someone at the gym, they don't have any mutuals or anything like that, for any real life mutuals, how does someone go about that?
Yeah, so I think just if you're averse to approaching someone in person at the gym, maybe this person is kind of head down and you don't want to interrupt them, but maybe you want to shoot your shot in somehow. I think using those kind of like digital tools that you kind of have at your advantage is huge and can be helpful. I think Instagram is a big one, just because I like a lot of people, when they go to the gym, what do? They take a picture for their Instagram story and they tag the gym, or they do a gym selfie. So checking your gyms, they're the geolocation story, or like tagged photos. Like people will tag the gym with like progress pictures and stuff, or like follow their gym like a lot of the time. So I think like checking those, and if that person pops up on there, or you notice them tagged in a picture or like things like that, like I think that is fair game.
Again, we come back to this important thing with any kind of approach, any kind of dating. It is only as effective as the person finds you attractive. There's nothing you can do to change about that. There's no magical scale or anything like that you need to fall at this number on. It's just, if somebody finds you attractive, they'll respond or reciprocate in some kind of way. And if they don't, they'll, possibly give you a, kind of cold response, or none at all. And that's okay. Like that, you got to be able to just like accept that, and it mean nothing about you.
Exactly. And I think especially just because this is a person you don't even know at all, like it's not personal because they don't know you. It's not like they've read your life
story.
They
don't know you shit.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I think a lot of times too, it's just the approach you can take is just with these kind of like colder approaches. I think a big thing that people can do is just, make sure your own Instagram is public. If their Instagram is public, point. I think that's fair. I think putting maybe your city in the bio, just like, I think my bio probably says like ATX or something. I think just that feeling of, with women, that safety aspect is a concern. Like, there's, there are times where it's like, maybe this guy is attractive, but is he real? Is he scary? Just making it kind of almost known that you're safe. Like
the more human you appear, the better, basically.
Yeah. Seeing mutual follows for the same gym or like restaurants and stuff that are local, I think is huge. Like when I've gotten DM slides or, follows where there's nothing in common, it's kind of like, that's, I worry about it. But if I even see like, just different things around Austin and stuff, it's like, okay, this person's in Austin, like this person seems more real. But I think just the approach that I think, if they have a public profile, I think that means they're open to, that implies that you're open to strangers following you. That doesn't necessarily mean they're open to communicating with strangers, but it's not like, oh my God, this creep followed me. I think a good DM is just like, hey, like I obviously like follow the gym because people like to follow their gym, and like totally realize like I've seen you around, like wanted to just say what's up. And like, I really think too, like similar to, you're out and about in a bar or other social setting, like you see someone drinking a, vodka soda or something, you say, hey, what are you drinking? If they're not into it, they'll just say vodka soda and turn back to their friends. But if they're into it, they'll say, oh, vodka soda, what about you? And the conversation's open. So if you say like, I recognize you from the gym, like wanted to say what's up, and she just says, oh, cool, like, hey, like nice to meet you, like, but if she, then, okay, cool, like, back away. But if she says like, oh, I totally recognize you, like, do you always go on like, 5 to 6, like on weekdays or something, like,
right,
conversations open, keep going.
Yeah, you can always feel the vibe if someone wants to engage with you. And again, it's, if somebody doesn't want to engage with you, maybe they just like fucking need to get through their workout. They have work in 20 minutes and they got to fucking finish up or something like that. But one weird little thing that I learned, and I wish I could remember where I learned this so I could credit the person. But it was a really, really simple way to like gauge if someone is into you at all, is go up to someone and say, obviously like if it gets opened up, it's like, hey, my name is so-and-so. And if they say, oh, nice to meet you, my name is blank, there's something there. But if someone just says, nice to meet you, they don't even want to share their name. Like,
that's weird.
What was that?
I think it's that's weird if they don't. Like, I think that's definitely like a don't talk to me. Like, like if they share their name back, like I don't know that that's like a shoe in necessarily, because I do think there's some
It's
politeness.
definitely
Like,
not a shoe in, but it's like it's one of those things where it's like they at least want that. It is enough to acknowledge that you're a human. You can ask a second question at that point. But if someone's just like, nice to meet you, fucking move on. Like they don't even want to share their name with you. You're good to go. Again, it means nothing about you. That's it.
Yeah. And I would say too, like some of these like cold approaches, like I think there's also the perception that like a cold approach means you have to walk up to this person and say like, you're the most beautiful person in the world, and I would love to take you out on a date, and like get down on your knees and like sing them a fucking song or something.
Yeah.
You can really, I think there's those like light feelers, like similar to, the gym version of, what are you drinking? Like, vodka soda. What about you? Like,
What kind of pre-workout you using?
Yeah. Or like, oh, like you see the pre-workout, like, oh wait, what pre-workout is that? Or like, they're wearing a t-shirt from their college, like, oh shit, did you go to Arizona State or something like that? Like I went here, like, go Sun Devils or something, like. And usually if they're into that, like they'll keep the conversation going from there, and then it's, hey, by the way, like I'm so and so, like see you around here a lot, like, and then things can go from there. Like I think those like light touches are just a better start.
Mm-hmm. Also, I just realized I totally reversed it. It's ask the person their name, and if they ask for yours back, then there's some level of interest there, or not even some level of interest. Just they've acknowledged that you're a living human. You're not just like an NPC, basically.
Like reciprocating matters so much for everything.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey guys, if you got some value out of that question, please share it to someone else who needs to hear it. And I'm talking to you right now. If you want to ask your own question, you can go direct message me on Instagram at AndrewPFM. You can go toss a comment on YouTube, on TikTok at AndrewPFM as well, or my business Instagram at Pride Fitness and Movement. Yeah, hope to see you guys there. Later.